Hey everybody, it's Karen with Food and Family. Let me tell you, I don't know what the temperatures are where you are, but it is hot here. And I think the temperatures today, this is Thursday, I think the temperatures are supposed to reach 101, something like that, actual temperature. So you know, the feel like is going to be, I think he said around 117, something like that. So it's too hot to be outside and it's too hot for hot food. So I'm going to make some gazpacho. And most of you probably know what gazpacho is. It's a cold soup and you eat it cold, and I'm excited. I love it. And that's what I can have for lunch for a few days. So I want to get all my ingredients together here. I've got them ready. I want to show you something first. I'm going to be using some celery. Remember I told you the other day to use your celery, put it in some water. Looky there. You see that right there? It's already growing and it's just in water. So I've got to get this little baby planted so I can have some celery. Don't throw it away. I've got some more celery here that I bought, and I'm going to take it, do the same thing. You see these ends here? Don't throw them away. Put them in a little water like I did, and you'll have celery. Do the same thing with collard greens. Okay, so let's get on with our gazpacho. I'm excited about this today. So I've got my recipe here in front of me because I haven't made this in a little while, and I'm excited about it. So, but I've got my recipe, so I'll make sure I do it all right. I have 2 cloves of garlic. I've got nice cloves of garlic. Let me get my knife. I forgot it. And it says to mince up the garlic. Now I'm going to put it in here, so I don't want it too fine. But looky here. Look at this garlic mincer that I have. And if I'm not mistaken, I'll have to double check. I think this is in my Amazon store. And all you do is lay your garlic on your board, put that on it, and rock back and forth. And your garlic is minced. Looky there. So that is so simple. So where's my spatula? There it is. We're going to put this right here in the food processor. I'm just going to chop this one up with my knife because I don't want it too fine. I don't want chunks of garlic to eat, but I'm going to put it in a food processor so it'll chop it up some too. So let's get our knife run through that. I hope y'all are having a great week. Now, I'm going to tell you something, and I have to apologize to everyone. I went on my trip this past weekend. I told you about it when I was doing the treats for our trip. And if you've seen that video, it's really a good one. And I have enjoyed those vegetables and the cheese and crackers we all did this past weekend. And I told everyone that I was going to do a video walking around town. Well, I got up there with all my family, and there was 5 of us, my brother, his son, my sister-in-law, and we just had the best time. We got there, it was like, I don't know, 4.5 hour drive, and we checked into our hotel and we sat there and rested up for a little bit. Then we went and ate some lunch. And by the time we did all of that, we messed around and saw some things we wanted to see and went back to our hotel, and we just pooped out. So I did not get a video done, but I've done a video from up there before, and I'll try to link that to this video so you can see the town. Okay, so on with this. I've got my garlic in here. Now, it calls for half of a red onion. Well, y'all, all I could find was these huge jumbo onions, and I didn't need one that big. So I bought some that was already cut up take advantage. A lot of these ingredients you can find already cut up for you. So I'm going to put a big, this is a, well, they don't tell me, 8 ounce. So this is a cup. So it says I need half of a red onion. I'm going to put about half of this in here. I love onions. Y'all see me use them a lot. And most of my meals start with onion. And once you get that going in the pot, you just can't beat your supper, whatever you're cooking. Okay, so I've got that. And tomatoes. Now, it said use Roma tomatoes. I could not find Roma tomatoes. They have been hard for us to find, but I got some plum tomatoes. Close enough. If you can't find either, use a regular tomato. These are kind of large. So I'm going to just lop off this fat end right here, or the stem end, and I'm just going to cut that off. And it tells me to dice it up. So I'm just going to cut it in half, if you can see what I'm doing. And I'm just putting it in little chunks like that, if you can see. And we're just going to throw it over in here. Now, what I'm going to do, though, is I am going to hold back some of these pieces. And I need to get a bowl to put some in, because I want to save some chunks of these vegetables, because I want some larger pieces to go in it as well. So let me get these cut up. You don't have to sit and watch me do them all. And I'll be back with you in just a minute, okay? Okay, so I have got my tomatoes cut up, except for the last one. Okay, so I'm going to dice up a little bit finer this last tomato, because this is what I'm going to use as my garnish. And when I say garnish, after I serve this up, I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of every one of these vegetables in that bowl of cold soup. And y'all, I can't wait to get into this. I haven't had it in ages, and it is so good. Now, if you want, you don't have to use exactly all the vegetables that I've used. And you can add, you can take away, and make it your own. This is the way I like it. Okay, so I've got my tomatoes in and celery. I've got 2 stalks of celery. Now, I will put this recipe below. And I'm just going to cut these ends off. I bought celery hearts. And so I didn't get the stems. I mean the leaves. So just throw it away. I've got my trash can. Instead of bringing it to me, I just left it open. And I'm going to cut this celery up. Again, we are going to hold back a little bit. Now, I'm putting it in the food processor, so I don't have to chop it too fine. Okay? And if you want more celery, put more celery. In fact, I think I'm going to do a little bit more. Now, this last little bit, I'm going to chop a little bit finer. Watch your fingers. Okay, and I'm just going to put it right here in this bowl with these tomatoes. Tomatoes. I say tomatoes most of the time, and y'all know I tell you this all the time. Somebody got on to me for saying tomatoes. They said tomatoes. It's according where you're from, how you've always said it. I say it how it comes out. Okay, so I got my onion, garlic, tomatoes, celery. Now, zucchini. Zucchini. I was going to put this in the freezer. I cut it up and I thought, I'm not going to put that in the freezer. I'm using it in my gazpacho. So I started cutting it up, but you know that's okay. it got that much done ahead for me. So I'm just going to take his rings and cut them in half. Throw them in here. That's getting full, isn't it? We're going to have a good bit of gazpacho, and that is quite all right with me. And another thing, it does make a lot. It will freeze. And I've got some containers coming, I ordered, that I'm going to put some in serving sizes for me, and I'm going to put them in the freezer. But until then, I'm going to store it. You see these things, you get them with takeout a lot. I keep them because I can use them. Okay, so I'm going to cut up some of this zucchini as well to put in with our tomatoes and onions. Celery, we've got onions. Looky there, and I'm going to put that in there. This is going to be some more soup. I am so looking forward to it. Okay, so now we've got a cucumber. I bought an English cucumber, so I don't have to worry so much about the seeds, okay? And I'm going to cut it in half. Now, this might sound weird to you, but I'm going to peel half of it. Again, I'm just dicing it up. Throw it over in there. I'm going to hold back a couple of pieces. Look here, we're going to put this over in our bowl. I'm going to chop this up. Okay, let's put that in there. I don't know that we can get that any fuller, guys. Okay, so I think that's everything. We got the garlic in there, the onion, and everything else. So we're going to put, we've got vinegar, red wine vinegar. It calls for 2 tablespoons. So let's put that in. It's so good. 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar. Now, it calls for 2 tablespoons of sugar. Now, what the sugar is supposed to do is offset all the acidity from the tomatoes, because we got fresh tomatoes and we've got tomato juice. I don't want 2 tablespoons of sugar. I like that acidy taste, but I'm going to put 1 tablespoon of sugar, just because the recipe tells me to. And hot sauce, y'all know I don't do hot too well, but I'm going to put a few dashes. I don't think in this much soup, this many few dashes is going to hurt, but you absolutely use what you want. Now, we've got salt and pepper. Salt and pepper to your taste. And with this much, I'm going to use a teaspoon of salt and about 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. And to be honest with you, I'll probably want more. Okay, so then we're going to add 2 cups of tomato juice. Get a very good quality tomato juice. Something you would just sit down and pour you a glass and drink it. And pour that right in. Well, I hope this food processor will handle all this. Okay, and I think that's everything, y'all. So what it says. Okay, so I'm going to put my lid on, put my top, and pulse. I'm sorry if it's loud. Now, you're going to pulse this to the consistency you want. I don't want it like liquid. I want little bits in it. So I'm just going to chop, pulse until I see what I want. I'm going to scoot this back, and I hope, I don't know if I can or not, y'all. I hope you can see down in this bowl. Now, I'm going to pulse this, I think, just a tad more, but I want to taste it for that salt and pepper. There's a little bit of salt. But you put as much as you want in it. I'm going to put another teaspoon of salt. I know I put that extra that makes it a whole teaspoon. And a little bit more pepper. And that should do it. Okay. Y'all, I'm so excited. Looky there. Look at there. Okay, so let me move this. I do not want to spill that. So let me get this out of the way. And I've got a big bowl here, okay? So I'm going to pour this over into this big bowl. And you know what? Instead of, you know what I'm going to do? Instead of using that for individual bowl garnish, I'm just going to put it all right here. And we're going to make the whole thing a little bit chunky. Now, all of this that I set aside, I'm going to put in here. And I'm going to put some more of this onion in here. Let's stir it up. Can you see down in there? Looky there. Oh my goodness. And see, we've got those chunks. I want to hold it up and let you see that. Isn't that beautiful? And that, nope, that's not all, y'all. We've got to put the rest of the tomato juice in. I'm glad I looked back at that recipe. Now, when you go to serve this, if this is going to be your meal, you can serve it with some crusty bread. That would be so good. Or you can garnish it. I have seen people garnish with boiled eggs. Cut them up. Avocado. I don't like avocado. Whatever you want. You can grill some shrimp. I'm sure you can grill some chicken. Wouldn't that be good on it too? And just lay it right on top. But we're not doing that today. Okay, so let's move some of this stuff out of the way because I want to serve a stuffed bowl. But I want to look and make sure I've got everything in here. We didn't put our olive oil in it, y'all. We didn't put our olive oil. 1/4 cup of olive oil. See? Always look back over your recipe. Thought it was missing something, but when I added that extra salt, extra virgin olive oil, we can just stir it in. It don't have to be whirled in the food processor. Looky there. Okay, what do you say we service up a bowl? I've got me a nice bowl here. I'm going to, so I want a little bit of everything. I want some of the onions. I want the zucchini, some of the cucumber. I'm going to put a few extra onions on there. That's just going to make it so pretty. And I went out to my little beds and I picked me some parsley. All right, looky there. Look at that beautiful bowl of gazpacho. I'm going to give it another taste since I added all the other stuff in it. I don't have to blow on it, do I? Oh my goodness, guys. This is perfect. I hope you give this a try. And if you do, please let me know. Let me know what vegetables you use or don't use, okay? And I appreciate each and every one of you joining me in my kitchen today. I love it when you're here with me. And I appreciate each and every one. Please check it out. Let me know what you think. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you'll know when I put out my next video. See you soon, everybody.